All right, so today's science lesson is Simple Machines Part 3. Simple Machines Part 3. Now, we've talked about wheels and pulleys and ramps. We've built a poster board that's 2/3 full. And so today we're going to fill up the last part, the last 1/3 of our poster board, the right-hand side of our poster board. And we're going to do that talking about three things today. We're going to talk about the turbine, we're going to talk about the pump, and we're going to talk about hydraulics. Right? So the first we're going to focus on today is the turbine. Now a turbine's like the pinwheels that we made in class. Right? As the wind blows, it spins the turbine, it spins the little pinwheel. So on your piece of paper, as you're taking notes, I want you to write down the word turbine. And I want you to draw a pinwheel or a fan. Right? It's not too hard to draw. You just, what I'm doing is I'm drawing a fat oval this way, a fat oval this way, with a line down and a line here. Okay? Now, as the wind blows this way, the wind is blowing this way, it causes the fan blades to turn. Okay? So a turbine, what it does is it changes the direction of an object. It can be the wind. You can use them in water. So you can change the direction of water using a turbine. You can change the direction of wind using a turbine. And it changes it from straight, right? Here it is, the wind's traveling straight ahead, gets caught up in our turbine, starts to spin, so it changes it into a circle. So if you want to change the direction, you would use a turbine. Okay? So that's our first simple machine of today. Our second one is a pump. Now, if you've ever been out in the country or when you go out to the ranch, you might have to pump water. Right? If you have water in a well, you don't always have to drop a bucket and scoop up the water each time. That would be using a pulley system from last week. Right? This time, what we're going to do is we're going to push down on a lever, and as you do that, it pushes the water out. Right? So let's draw that. Let's draw some sort of pump. Right? I'm going to draw, looks like a 7, right? Mine's going to have a little lever on here that I would push down, and as this goes down, the water would flow. Right? So the water flows into my bucket. So as you draw a pump, think about it pumping water into a bucket. Right? And so this one uses a solid to push liquids. Right? Uses a solid. We're going to use this solid lever here and push it down to move the liquid. Okay? So, solid pushes liquid. The solid lever, push it down. Every time you push it down, it pumps more water into the bucket. Right? Until our bucket is full. And that's so much better than having to lower the bucket each time using a pulley system. Right? This time, this much energy gives you a bucket full of water instead of doing this each time. Right? So that's what a pump is. It's solid, pushes a liquid forward. The opposite of that is hydraulics. Okay? Hydraulics is the opposite of a pump. It uses a liquid to push a solid. Uses a liquid to push a solid, right? So inside a car's engine, it uses hydraulics. It uses that so that way the engine doesn't get too hot. It uses oil. That's the liquid it uses. So what causes the car to go are these pistons. And there's a whole bunch of pistons. So I want you to draw the little pistons, right? And you could draw them at different levels because usually they're like every other one is up or down, right? And as these go up and down, that creates enough energy to spin the wheels, spin the tires, so that way they go forward, right? This little up and down. But the problem is that you can't do it like that. If you did it like that, it would get too hot. You have metal in these little metal tubes like this going up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, that motion causes friction, and we talked about friction before. So that friction would create heat. We know friction creates heat. So if we had our pistons going up and down, up and down, up and down in a car, it would get so hot your car would burn up. And in fact, that's what happens. Your car engines will burn up if you don't have some sort of liquid pushing these solids. In this case, oil. When you go for an oil change, it's because the oil inside the pistons, inside the oil is getting dry and sticky, so you need to put more slick, gooey oil inside to make the pistons go nice and smooth. The pistons don't touch the side because they're all oily and greasy. Right? So by keeping those moving smoothly keeps your car from getting too hot and burning up the engine. So hydraulics is the idea of liquid pushing the solid. Okay? Pump, solid pushes liquid. Hydraulics, liquid pushes the solid. So just like with your last poster board, you should have, here's your poster board up here. Here it is. It's been divided into 3 parts. Okay? This was week 1. Week 1. Okay? This is week 2. Okay? And then this side is this week, part 3. Right? Part 3, week 3. So week 3 is all about the turbine, the pump, and hydraulics. Now I want you to do the same thing. I want you to fill up this side right here. This is week 2, right? Week 3. So with week 3, I want you to fill it up. Fill it up. Full of examples of turbines, pumps, and hydraulics. Go to the internet, look at magazines, draw pictures of different examples, look up different examples, and fill up this side full of those 3 things. And when you do that, you'll have a whole poster board filled with simple machines. All right? That's your assignment this week, and then next week I have a super challenge for you. So good luck.